Hi guys, this is Dormouse03, and this is Tomb Raider. So this playthrough is going to be several things. First and foremost, I wanted to do a playthrough of this game as a lead up to Rise of the Tomb Raider releasing in November, and as it so happened, I was able to get my hands on the definitive edition, which I have not played before, which is awesome because it'll be better graphical quality for you guys. And it'll be something that I haven't experienced yet too, so I'll be getting to experience it a bit with you guys a little bit differently than I have before, which is awesome. And I'll be able to go for achievements and stuff on this run too, which is nice. I have all the achievements on my 360 version, but now I will be able to get the ones on this version too, which is awesome. And so that leads me to the second thing that this is, and that is going to be a challenge run. So I wanted to do something to make this a little unique and special. And so what I ended up deciding on when I was trying to think of like what would be a good challenge that's not too crazy, but will be kind of fun to do and for you guys to watch along with. And I decided on a hard difficulty bow and arrow and melee only run. So I am going to attempt to get through this entire game using only the bow and arrow and melee. And so that's going to involve trying to do some sneaking. That's going to involve upgrading the bow and arrow and my melee and stuff. And I think that will end up being a nice balance because I will be able to have upgrades and things on those particular on that particular weapon and on that skill, but I'll be restricted, and it'll be on hard, which I haven't played it on hard because it wasn't required really to play on hard for any of the achievements or anything, so I haven't done it on hard, so I don't know how much more difficult that is from the regular playthrough. So I think it's going to be interesting. Like I said, not too terribly crazy, but it should make it, give it a little bit of more interest to watch. So there's that. And also I'm going to be going through, and I'm going to be talking a lot during the game about, you know, my thoughts of it. I have very fond memories of playing through this before, and we'll see kind of how it holds up now a couple of years later, and kind of talk about what I liked about it, which is a lot of things, what I didn't like about it, which is some things, because no game is perfect, and you know what things I'm excited for Rise. So if that all sounds interesting to you guys, we're gonna proceed onwards here.
A famous explorer once said that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are. I'd finally set out to make my mark, to find adventure. But instead, adventure found me. In our darkest moments, when life flashes before us, we find something that keeps us going. Something that pushes us.
guys. So we are in control. And the first of these easy little environmental puzzle tutorial thingies. I do like that so many of these have to do with, you know, just things in the environment like the fire and whatnot. I think that that's pretty good design there. I like the on-screen effects in this game as well. You know, how it goes black and white when she is hurt. It's the same way in Uncharted. But I do like that effect and all the stuff on screen.
What is this place?
You know, like the little droplets of blood and water and stuff that show up on the, like, quote-unquote camera lens.
That was loud.
I think that that's good stuff. I like that whenever I see that in games. I really like the fire effects. I think that they look nice with the little embers burning.
Oh, no, we must have... Oh, damn it.
And this opening sequence I enjoy because I think it's a nice little intro to the mechanics of the game, to the game itself. I think having this kind of action heavy sequence broken up a little bit by this little bit of mild puzzle solving straight into another really action heavy sequence where you're in control really sets the pace and the tone for the game, and then allows you to have kind of some exposition moments afterward, which I think is a nice way to weave all that stuff in, where you start off with a bang and it doesn't have to do a lot of build up and exposition at the very beginning before you get straight into it, but you still do get that stuff, which is important for the story. So we'll get there. We shall get there. Fire on the ceiling. Love it, love it. That it's trailing off of her torch like that. Just introduces you to all this stuff.
What kind of contraption is this?
And so a lot of the puzzles in this game have to do with burning stuff and weights and counterweights, which is cool because, like, those are environmental things that aren't necessarily contrived, so it's not the same thing as, like, there's all these weird levers built into everything and we have to go pull all the levers that are at strange places, like a lot of the puzzles in the earlier games were. But this is more, it feels more like using the environment that's already there rather than something that's been set up for a puzzle, which is cool.
Gotta get out of here.
sequence, and we'll have some more later on. I'll talk about those in a bit. So I love that whole intro here. I think that it's a very nice way to set the stage for this game. To show you all these boats that have crashed. To have, you know, Lara, who has been, you know, shipwrecked, nearly drowned, kidnapped, given a concussion, tied up, burned, impaled, slid down a freaking rock slide. All sorts of just crazy things happened to her, like, in the first 10 minutes of this game. And to have her come out like that and, you know, just be out in front of all this stuff, and to see what is in front of her, like, that doesn't even scratch the surface.
The lifeboat! Where are they? They must have gone inland.
I think it's just a nice way to introduce this. Try not to fall on this log.
Okay, take it slow.
But it's a nice way to introduce this and to set the stage for this game, because this game does not have the same tone. It does not have the same tone as the earlier games of the same name. They were all very sort of high action adventure. And their tone was light. You know, you never really felt like there were true stakes for Lara. Because she was, you know, invulnerable, and, you know, whatever would happen, she'd turn to the camera and have a wink and a smile, and, you know, it was just that kind of cavalier attitude to it. But this is very different. With this, you feel like there is real weight to what's happening. You feel like there's real true life and death stakes that are going on here. And even though you know Lara is not going to die in this game, sorry if that's a spoiler, it shouldn't be. Even though you know that she's not going to die, like you still feel like the stakes are high, because she does get hurt. You see that she's not invincible, you know. And I think that's good for the story that they're trying to tell here. And they use everything at their disposal, from the visuals to the sound effects, the music as it plays the theme there at the beginning and shows you the title. You know, it's very somber. And it's not like the Indiana Jones dun 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 dun, like we're happy and we're gonna be on an adventure. It's like, no, this is serious. And so I think that this opening section really gets across right away what they're trying to do here, which I think is awesome.
Sam's pack. Sam! They must have come this way. Sam? Roth? Can anyone hear me? I've got to find them. Okay.
So now we're looking for some shelter. And it leads in really nicely when I said that we were going to have some exposition after the big action-heavy opening. This scene up here is what I'm meaning, and I think that this is all pretty nicely done. So, put a little totem there. I'm not going to forget you, Mr. Totem. We're going to come back for you.
Looks abandoned. Is anyone listening? Please respond. Here's the soon-to-be world-famous archaeologist, Lara Croft, in her native habitat. She's on the hunt for the lost kingdom of Yamatai, home to the fabulous Himiko, mythical Sun Queen, and ancestor of yours truly.
Sam, this is serious.
Oh, sweetie, I know. I'm just trying to lighten the mood here. Everyone's so on edge. What are you so worried about?
I'm close to something. I'm sure of it. I just don't know if the others will listen. Or even if they should.
Lara, you know this stuff better than anyone. Seriously, I'm not just saying this to make you feel better. I trust you, Roth trusts you. You got this. Now let's take a break, okay?
Okay. And Sam, thanks.
She's not always this serious, you know?
Come on, tackle it! No, it's your chance!
How can you suggest I'm not serious about this expedition, Laura? It's not just Sam's family funding us. I put my savings on the line, too.
We've all got some kind of stake in this. The funding won't last forever, Whitman.
That's precisely why we should push east, not west.
No one believes Yamatai is that far east. The books simply don't support it.
Well, whoever wrote those books never found Yamatai.
I've talked to Roth about this. There's no point in following in other people's footsteps, Dr. Whitman.
I refuse to bet my reputation on your hunch. I'm the lead archaeologist here.
And when were you last in the field without a TV crew behind you?
Got 30 years experience, 2 PhDs, 1 in East Asian history. So why don't you just stick to boats, Mr. Grimm?
Ship, Dr. Whitman. It's a ship. You don't need a PhD to know
Look,
that.
going east will take us directly into the Dragon's Triangle. That's where we need to go.
Lara, my little bird. I'd follow you almost anywhere, but that place has a bad energy.
Bad storms, more like. Makes the Bermuda Triangle look like Disney World. Sign me up.
The stories about Queen Himiko say she could summon storms. Myths are usually based on some version of the truth. What if Yamatai was somewhere in the triangle itself?
Look, this is the satellite imagery from inside the Dragon's Triangle.
That doesn't look good.
If it's wet, I can sail on it.
Oh, don't tell me you're seriously
Reyes is right. We don't have the funds to piss about. It's now or never. Lara's offering fresh ideas and a plan. I'm the captain here. It's my decision. We're going into the Dragon's Triangle.
Why am I even here?
I can't just sit here. I've got to find something to eat.
And so we got a nice introduction to all of our major characters from the Endurance crew. And we'll learn bits and pieces and find out more about them a little bit later, you know, throughout the rest of the course of the game. But I don't know, I think that was nice placement there. Because, it's her first night, she's trying to not feel alone, she's trying to still feel connected to the people that matter to her, and watching the video makes a lot of sense. That if she would find that, she would look at that for comfort, it seems like.
God. What's going on here? Wait. I can use that bow.
It seems like a good way to do that without having to put all of that stuff at the very beginning and slow down the momentum of the beginning of the game. So, I think pretty well done. As far as the other characters,
I can do this.
they all get a little bit of fleshing out, but I would say the ones that we know the most about of the side characters are Roth and Sam, which makes sense because they are both, the most important characters to Lara and the most important characters in the story besides her.
Let's see if this thing still works.
Makes sense.
Just remember Roth's training.
You can have the best form and technique in the world, but it won't mean a thing if you can't focus. The key to using any weapon is focus.
So hungry. I need to find something to eat.
It happened again. Private Coast Cat. He was on gate duty last night. No one heard anything. And this morning, they found his helmet. Nothing else. No tracks of his leaving, no blood, no shell casings. Nothing. The others are talking about Chinese partisans. Maybe even American GIs. Damn fools! They have no idea what's happening here. It is the Oni who stalk us. The restless, evil spirits. They live in the old places of this island. We are trespassers here, and they are watching us, waiting. All these wrecks, the ruins, this entire island is a graveyard. It's only a matter of time. The Oni will come for us.
Okay, so I have a couple things to say about this. The first thing, I love when collectibles documents like that are voiced. I think it helps really give that little something that draws you in and helps make you more interested and a part of it than if they were silent. And you just had to read them. It's a funny thing, like, I like to read, and yet I don't want to read that stuff. I really prefer it to be spoken. And, you know, I think back to, like, Codex in Mass Effect and that kind of thing. It just, it really helps with immersion.
Some kind of container. Who left these behind?
And so it makes it feel like it's more of a part of the game rather than you stopping the game to read some stuff. So I think good on them for having all of those things fully voiced. I think that that's great. Design choice there. Second thing I have to say about that is that was these little documents and things that you find is a nice way to start to reveal what's going on with this island, because we've had a couple of things that have been noted here. We've had, you know, talk about what it is. It's supposed to be the mythical Yamatai, which had to do with Himiko the Sun Queen. Sam told us that in the video. And we'll learn a little bit more about that later on. And we also know that it's like a storm center based on the data from Alex's computer. So it starts to give you this dual message, or this mystery, if you will, of, is this thing a mythical place, you know? Or is it
some kind of coordinates? Did someone want these to be found?
Is it a place where we have supernatural stuff going on? And so it goes ahead and introduces that stuff very early on, which I think is nice to be able to see those two sides unfolding throughout the story. And now we're going to try to kill this deer. And it ran away. Oh, but it's going to, like, hobble. Okay. So we got the poor little deer. And I think that it's nice that, you know, Lara shows respect for nature. I think this isn't her being squeamish or whatever. This is respect for what's happening and the gravity of the situation.
Sorry. Right, back to camp.
All right, Lara. You won't always have some fancy gadget to tell you where you are. If you can learn to read the land and the stars, you'll always be able to find your way home.
So the survivor mode or focus mode or whatever this is called when you go into the black and white where stuff stands out to you, I think is pretty well done. We're going to continue to get these totems if I can remember roughly where they all are. And if I'm remembering the game correctly, this area goes on into a later section that we can't access right now. So I think there are something like half of them, so like 5 of the totems in this area, 5 of them in the next. So we're gonna try to find 5, and if we can find 5, then we'll call it good and see if the rest of them are in the next area. So that's 3. There's 1 back at camp. And so we're looking for the 4th one here. I do like that they kept to the sort of old Tomb Raider / Indiana Jones format of having that mixture of, you know, is this, you know, realistic or is it supernatural? It feels realistic enough, but it could have that flair of supernatural to it. Why is the deer trying to impale me with his antlers? You are not a predatory animal. Stop acting like one. So that was 4 of the totems, and now there's 1 more back at camp. Survival instincts, that's what they call the LB. We will be back to you momentarily, but we have a totem to get. Right here. So that's 5, and I think that's probably all in this area, and then the other 5 are in the other area, if I am not mistaken. Okay, so we got skills. So, arrow retrieval, like all of these things are good. But I believe I'm going to focus on this for the moment.
This is Conrad Roth, captain of the Endurance. We are shipwrecked on an island inside the Dragon's Triangle.
Roth!
Lara!
You're alive!
Easy, easy. Are you okay? What happened?
I remember the beach, and then it went black and I woke up in a cave. There was this crazy man, Roth, and a dead body.
Oh, God. Where are you now, Lara? Are you safe?
It was so horrible. It's all my fault. This is all my fault.
Lara, listen to me. I sent an SOS from the Endurance before I abandoned her. Hopefully someone caught it. I've spoken to the others. We're regrouping at my location.
Please come and get me.
I have to stay here. You can do this, Lara. Remember when we climbed Snowden? You said the key was knowing that all you've got to do is just keep moving. Remember everything I've taught you, Lara. You're ready for this. And keep your radio on.
Okay.